Okay, welcome to our latest Swampcast. Of course, the Mighty Gators and the Mighty Vols, as Steve Spurrier used to say. Playing up in Knoxville. We get to listen to Rocky Top about 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Always fun.
As he would say, got a chance to win the game.
Got a chance.
Not saying we're going to win, just got a chance.
I think Florida's got a chance, but the one thing I keep going back to are the injuries, Robbie. You know, with no Jelani Jenkins, and while I love the way went back and watched the game a couple of times, Antonio Morrison did play well, Mike Taylor played well in his place, but it's
depth.
Still...
It hurts depth a lot, and with Jenkins, you had a veteran player who really played well in this game last year. He's one of the faster outside linebackers in the league. You know, you're going to miss a guy like that, no question about it. Morrison, going to be a great player, but he's not right now. He's learning. You know, same with Taylor a little bit. So it's going to hurt him with depth and experience.
Well, Taylor can't run like Jenkins either.
No, not many can.
Yeah, their big concern with Taylor in there is that he's not real fast. But you remember Jenkins, after the game, I remember last year as Will was leaving the press conference, I grabbed him, I go, you know, if Jelani Jenkins could catch, he'd be an All-American.
Well, yeah,
he had like 3 balls in his hands.
He was so good on those drops, and he was covering the tight end man-to-man tight. So, you know, you're going to miss that. Morrison is more of a physical type linebacker than a guy that runs like Jelani does. So, yeah, a little bit of a downgrade there in terms of experience and speed.
And obviously you miss Cody Riggs, you miss another. You know, it's not a great player, but you're another corner that you could use in a game that's going to be a lot of passing. You know, Chaz Green's in a boot this week, although he's expected to play. You have some other guys we don't know about. Gillislee. They can tell us all they want that he's fine, but if there was a bone showing, they'd say he's fine.
They keep saying he's practiced and he's fine, but you never know. This is one of those injuries that they don't want Tennessee to know about. So they're going to say he's fine, and we'll see on Saturday. We won't know till then.
And he gives them a different dimension. We've seen what he can do, and that run for the touchdown still pretty amazing. But we'll see. I mean, Florida, this is still a Tennessee team that was not very good last year.
No, but for some reason they think that they're going to beat Florida's butt. The feeling I get from up there is that this is the same team that lost to Kentucky like 10 months ago, but suddenly it's all better now for some reason.
Well, they've got Justin Hunter back. Of course, they've lost Rick Rogers. I talked to Hunter the other day, and I think, you know, he's confident. He's looking forward to this game. Nothing personal, but this was the game that knocked him out last year.
And his injury changed the whole tone of that game early. When he went out, it was like, oh, don't have to worry about 2 great receivers, not just one.
Not only that,
it was a different game from then on.
But Tennessee, even Dooley said this.
You did?
Yeah, he did. But that they lost their spirit after that injury, and that they didn't keep their composure. So, you know, they're at home this time. Game day's there. Game day might be a distraction for them. It might be a lift. It might be a negative thing. You never know how a team's going to react to that. But I think, you know, if Florida, and we said this all along, if they got through September unbeaten, you would know this is a pretty good football team.
Yeah.
This is the game now to decide. Now, I think the fact if they can get, and they will get through at the very minimum with a split in those 2 road games, that's okay. That's not bad. I don't think anybody should be jumping off the ledge for that. But at the same time, if they can win both these games, that would be quite a feather in their cap.
Oh, yeah, and I think, Pat, winning last week takes the pressure off this week. If they had lost last week, the pressure would be so immense that you have to win this game. Now you've kind of got free money to play with a little bit. So play relaxed, go out there and have a good time and see what happens.
Well, and that's the thing. If they win this game now, you've got to say Florida's a contender in the SEC.
The winner of this game becomes a contender.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly not the contender because it's still it's still a South Carolina Georgia battle.
It's going to look like that still, no matter what happens in this game.
But the loser's pretty much done.
Yeah.
You know, they're pretty much done in the East. Now they're trying to move around and try to figure out which bowl they're going to go to. But the other thing about it too, Robbie, is think about this: if Florida can win this game, now they get Kentucky at home next week, and then they have a bye.
Open date.
So it's going to be, you know, these players are looking at that, they're going, man, if we can just get this done.
Then how big would that LSU game be?
Now you're going to have, a huge LSU game. So, and Kentucky wouldn't even be a trap game because you'd have an open week the next week.
But here we are getting ahead of ourselves, and coaches don't want you doing that. So.
That's what we do.
One game at a time, Pat.
One game at a time. You can only play one game at a time.
One Swampcast at a time, too.
That's right. Well, the next time we come at you, we'll know whether Florida's won the game or lost the game. The one good thing is if Florida blows them out, we only hear Rocky Top 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to start hearing it for about 90 minutes before the game, and then over and over and over.
But it'll be nice to get back to Knoxville. It is one of the great settings in college football. Yeah. Huge stadium. I remember the first time I went down on the field and looked around and went, wow.
It's really awesome when you look up. It is. And it's good that there's a big field to this game again, this rivalry.
Yeah. So. I mean, for 4 years, the last 4 years, I mean, even the Lane Kiffin year, it was big to Florida fans, but it wasn't big to nationally. Yeah. Now this is a big game nationally. It's right up there with Notre Dame, Michigan State.
Yeah, game day's there, so it says it all kind of.
LSU, or Auburn, Louisiana Monroe. It's right up there with that game.
Yeah, that's a big game for Chiswick.
It's a big Chiswick.
Shouldn't have gone there.
Well, I did. All right, so we'll see what happens Saturday. 6 o'clock start, so it'll be late night, but we got a late flight the next day, so we'll be all right. And then we'll come back with you from the field and give you the wrap up of what happened on Rocky Top between the Florida Gators and the Tennessee Volunteers. Till next time, Pat Dooley, Robbie Andrew of the Gainesville Sun saying so long from the Sunshine State.